Anyway, um, video
Sad.
games.
Hey, video game. You know what's a good way to distract yourself from the incoming horrible dystopia? Playing video games.
Sex is temporary. Video games are forever.
Gaming is video games are forever. That's right.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Played some video game.
Okay.
All right, so the two main ones that I played this week. One was actually sponsored by Quantic Dream. I couldn't believe that they reached out to me to
Excuse
promote
me?
something. Oh
Wait.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Uh huh.
can you discuss the the how on that?
Yeah, real easy. I occasionally work with a third party PR company that goes, "Hey, we got this game company that's like they want to give you some money to support stream a game," and I'm like, "Okay, what game?" And they're like, "This game," and they're the guys that I got like Necromunda and like some of the Focus Home Interactive stuff through,
Could they
and they showed
possibly
up.
have known directly who this was going to?
Oh fuck no! Absolutely goddamn hell no,
Then there
not.
we go. All right.
No way. Um, and Quantic Dream published but did not develop a game called Sea of Solitude that came out like a couple years ago or whatever. But like they put out it on the Switch and they wanted me to cover it, so I'm
Well,
like,
let's see if they
okay,
hit you with that retweet. That's how you'll know.
I'll I'll cover it. Oh, they did not. Um, and it is like a little, I don't know what to call it. It's like not like a. I guess the closest example would be like a Journey, but like it's a little longer and there's a little bit more to it. But it's very much like a wander around and jump around in a very very pretty aesthetic kind of game. Well, like the story gets talked at you.
Okay.
I wouldn't quite call it a walking simulator because there is like proper platforming and exploration,
Did you see Rhyme?
but
Is it like Rhyme?
it is like Rhyme. It's not as good as Rhyme.
Okay.
It's just,
Sounds like
it's
what you're
straight up.
describing.
Yeah, it's just straight up not as good as Rhyme.
Okay.
Rhyme looked a lot better and was more interesting. The main problem was Sea of Solitude is that you load in and it's really weird. Like you're a crow person in an infinite ocean, and you're your lantern on your boat provides all light, and once you get away from it, it becomes
Crow
like
person.
pitch black and nightmarish. Yeah, like the crow person, like you're all feathered and shit. And
Booty popping?
your pardon?
Hmm? Thickness?
What?
Crow? You got that junk in the trunk? No? All right.
No, like a bird, Wooly.
Yeah. That odor effects booty. Hell yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Oh, you forgot?
yeah,
You
it's like
forgot
10 years ago.
you forgot the shape and the size. All right. Well, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, uh, so right away, the first thing that you encounter is like a floating golden perfect child that is very happy, and then you run into some giant turtle antagonist monster that starts screaming like you'll never be good enough, and you'll just hurt everybody, and like, oh, okay, this is what this game is. This game is about a trauma, and characters are going to tell you their trauma, and you're going to work past it, and it's going to be a whole thing. And I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit.
Okay.
And then you get to the second sequence in which your character encounters like the bird form of your little brother who was like horribly bullied in school. And I don't think I've ever played anything that made me so like legitimately bummed out as going through that sequence. It is like an hour of platforming while listening to the like overheard descriptions of a kid getting bullied and like him
Okay.
trying to tell the sister, but the sister doesn't listen, and him trying to play it off and all that shit. And it's like, whereas the game starts really heavy handed, that stuff, particularly as somebody who experienced like pretty severe bullying in like elementary and high school, was dead on.
So I'm seeing that the studio Joe May Games received Games for Impact awards or
Mhm.
nominations for Sea of Solitude. So it seems as if this was something that it got awards based on the subject matter you're describing.
Yeah, it was it like listening to it, it was like absolutely fucking dead on accurate and depressing, like like caused misery in my fucking chest. Depressing. And one of the things that stood out to me was that I was obviously playing it on stream with a chat, and I saw some folks go, "Oh, this is so overdone," or "This is so overplayed." To which I would have to respond like, "No, it's not. This is actually dead on. If you are not the kind of person that experienced bullying or didn't know anybody who experienced like bullying, like it's dead on, and it's even on the tamer side.
Hmm.
Like nobody is attempted to be murdered in the storyline here. It's just all like minor assaults and humiliation." And then you go on from that just feel bad hour to the parents' relationship falling apart, and the mother suffering from what I believe to be is depression, and the dad wanting out of like the family entirely,
So
and them like
these are
argue. It feels like they're like somebody, a friend's parents are like having the fight that will end their marriage one room over.
hmm So, but you're hearing this in the audio in the background while you're playing in the fictional world.
Yeah, it's two or three things. Either the monster-ish ized version of the character, be it an octopus, a giant bird, or a chameleon, or what have you, is literally telling you, or you're picking up like bottles, which are like audio logs, or they're arguing amongst each other, or what have you, or you're cleansing like these corruption points to add more light back to the world, and that will unlock like a scene that you will see played out in mimicry or stuff like that. Um, so there's more to it than literally like just listening to the bad thing. There's actually a lot more gameplay in it that I was expecting, like compared to say like a Journey or like compared to like Journey and Limbo. It's in the middle
Okay.
where there's like not as much puzzle solving or gameplay as like Limbo, but it's not like a run and jump and beautiful thon like Journey. Um, but the takeaway that I had was that I have genuinely never felt like so fucking depressed playing anything.
Mm.
It is setting out exactly what it meant to do, which I like. I think the very first part of the game is kind of like a little too heavy handed, but after that it like gets into its groove. But like uh, it's fucking like miserable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine.
It is a horrible experience, and it's a good one to pick on. Of like, games don't have to be fun,
Hmm.
because this one is like the fucking last game I would ever describe as fun
I
in
mean,
my life.
I would say that any game where like you have connection to the subject matter and you can see it being depicted in a like non-exaggerated form,
Hmm.
is going to like land in that way. And yeah, there's been examples of that over the years. I'm almost thinking of what was it called? That Dragon Cancer
Hmm.
from
Oh yeah,
some time ago.
or that Dragon Cancer exists to fuck you up,
Hmm.
or have you feel even a smidgen of empathy for the parents who developed it, who were in just like the most nightmarish situation ever.
Hmm.
Um, And I could see why Quantic Dream would have looked at this and decided they wanted to publish it, because like the emotions, but like actually for real, like I did have emotions. I almost feel like the game's art style, like I don't know if you've seen it,
I did. I looked at some
but it's like
screenshots. Hmm.
it's very bright and colorful, and the characters are like all anthropomorphized, and like I didn't get what I thought I was gonna get.
Looks
You
like
know
there's a
what I
bunch of
mean? Like it,
a lot of sailing too. It seems.
yeah. Like it is not what I thought I was gonna get. Uh, Overall, I would probably not have played that game. Uh, Had I not been sponsored. I'm glad I played it, and I will never finish it because there is like literally more to the like parent storyline that I didn't see, and then there's a ex-boyfriend storyline that I don't even want to fucking touch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just like, you know what? I'm fucking good. I'm fine. I'm good. No, thank you. Cuz this like sucks to play. And that has all the artistic value in the world, and I don't care. Right? I
Well,
just
yeah.
like
No, I get it. You know, I think yeah. No, but it's cool when these kind of games pop up and that exist. Um, I mean, if you're going through it, I imagine, and like yeah, you're hearing it, and then I'm sure that some part of you is like, you know, just going back to those times and shit as you're playing it, and it's not a pleasant experience overall to do that.
mhm.
And I'm sure when you turn the game off, it's still not a pleasant like thing to be like,
Oh
oh well,
no,
that's
like the
gone, you know.
one of the things that leaped out at me was that one of the descriptions of bullying the kid has is he describes that uh, he's trying to tell his sister that the other kids like hid his backpack and he doesn't know where any of his stuff is, and he's getting like ignored. And I'm like, oh, cool. That totally happened to me all the time. Kids would take my shit out from under my desk when I wasn't looking and literally fucking toss it out the window. And then I'd get in trouble for not having like my homework or like my books
Mm-hmm.
in the next class. And when you go, Mikey fucking threw it out the fucking window in English class, you get like, don't make excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's like, oh, cool. I have not thought about that in 20 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need this.
Mm-hmm.
And the parents getting divorced is like, my parents' relationship was really strong, but like it's definitely hitting real enough that like anybody who ever heard their parents have like a fucking shit down drag out fight is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like very uncomfortable. And then the relationship one later, I assume, is so fucked. It's like there's probably
Something for everyone.
something for everybody to be fucking miserable. And I think the idea here, like the like, you know, like a game that like wants to mean something will have a goal.
Mm-hmm.
I think the goal is that for, and I saw it happen in real time
Mm-hmm.
in my chat where it's like, there are people whose parents never really fought.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who never got picked on in school, or there are parents who there are people who didn't really have like a fucked up breakup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who just got but usually you encountered or at least knew somebody who went through one of them, and then you'll attach to that, and then you'll be able to look at that and see that this game treated that subject correctly, and then be able to look at the other topics which you might have thought were overdone and go, oh shit, is it really like that?
Mm.
Like did people's parents really break up like that? Like, holy fuck. Or, you know, is that, you know, it's like intended to generate empathy.
Well, again, it is possible to overdo it on a lot of subjects like that, and it is possible to
Yeah.
take a heavy hand that is like not um accurately, like capturing some of the feelings of those types of moments in your life. So the fact that if they can cover multiple and do it fairly properly, or at the very least each person that has been related to that can weigh in and go like, yeah, no, that seems to pretty much be how it goes down. That's a rare thing. And
Yeah,
also I feel like the nature of the stories that, I guess, like, well, it sounds like this is like, again, a meta thing where there's a real story happening and then there's the fictional world
yeah,
you're
it's
playing,
clearly
right?
like a massive metaphor.
Yeah. A lot of stories and games and movies we absorb are a lot less meta, more literal, and also like the major focus of almost everything we read, play, and watch is loss. It's death. That's pretty much the main exposure. It's the main threat. It's the main sadness and tragedy and all the stories we get into. So the things that are like that are more subtle and like contextual to, childhood, like in a modern environment, is underexplored because it's relatively new.
So yeah, good game. I hate it. I hate playing it.
Fair.
I would like to remove it from my mind.
You felt
Though,
you didn't feel
congrats.
emotions. You felt emotions.
Yeah, congrats on creating a game that will likely successfully engender at least some empathy, which is interesting. I was just thinking about this because I saw people talking about Evangelion in that, and what do you call it? The Quantic Dream games are the same way, where they go, "We want to make you sad," right? Evangelion doesn't try and have you empathize with somebody's depression. It tries to make you depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And this game is Sea of Solitude again, by the way. Sea of
yeah,
is what it's called.
right. Like
Thank
Detroit doesn't want to make you think about what it would be like to be a robot. It wants you to be sad that this robot was mean to.
well, thank Quantic Dream.
What's the dev actually?
Uh,
They're the ones who actually.
yeah, no, I said it just now. It was
Joe something.
Joe May Games.
Joe May Games. I have not played it, but I imagine Baba Ayo is similar to this.
Oh,
Baba Ayo is
Papa and Yo.
Oh, Papeño, not Babaño.
Yeah,
Jeez,
yeah.
that's fucking stupid. No, Papeño, yeah, where it's like the game is like, hey, my dad fucking beat my ass and fucked me up. You want to see a video game about it? Like, you know what? I bet it's a really good game.
Did
No.
you cross that over with
Fuck
Baba
no.
as you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay. Sea of Solitude.